What's going on, Jerome's? Your Minnesota Vikings are 6-1, getting it done after the 34-26 win over the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday. And 5 straight wins, hard to do in this league. It's even tougher when they're all one-score games. But the Vikings are learning on the job, offensively, defensively, with teams as well. And wanted to take a look at the Vikings' remaining schedule as of right now. And you feel pretty good about it. I mean, the Vikings only face 3 teams with a winning record. 4 teams. Yeah, because the Jets. But I think that, especially given the flux of home games later on in the schedule, you feel all right. You feel okay. First up is Sunday, Week 9 at the Commies. Kirk Cousins, revenge game. Taylor Heineke's got him believing, winning a couple games in a row, beating the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers, and then beating the Indianapolis Colts on the road. So Taylor Heineke's looking good. Scary Terry is always legit. Brian Robinson is recovered, and he's showing why he was such a stud in college. And they're starting to get right. I think the Commies are starting to get healthy, and Ron Rivera has got them playing some good football. So this is not going to be a pushover. Like, the Vikings absolutely cannot overlook Washington looking ahead to the Bills game. Like, I want Kirk Cousins to come home with 75 chains around his neck, man, because it's emotional revenge game for him. Oh, not really. It certainly isn't going to be on the level of like Jordan Hicks and Patrick Peterson last week with the Cardinals, but it would be nice to get a win over a team who's 500 in the NFC, another leg up over another NFC team that could be in the playoff race. So that would be good. Now, next up, number 10, the Bills. Now, there have been some talk that this could potentially be flexed to Sunday Night Football. So it's got to be 12 days out. So today actually is the deadline. I don't necessarily see it. I think it's more likely that the Vikings and the Cowboys Week 11 or the Vikings and the Giants Week 16 could be flexed to Sunday Night Football. But, I mean, the Bills game is going to be tough. Yeah, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Leslie Frazier, old friends, got that defense playing pretty good, even though we've seen since the Bills have had a myriad of injuries in the secondary. Jordan Poyer's the latest one dinged up with that elbow. The Bills defense can get got. I mean, they gave up a myriad of points against the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers and dead-ass Aaron Rodgers. So maybe the Vikings can hang and bang. Like, I'm feeling pretty good about this game. Like, the Vikings are obviously going to be underdogs, maybe even, I don't know, like 5.5 points, somewhere in there. I'm taking all the points, and I'm taking the money line. That's right. And then the Vikings come home. Country roads take me home. Weeks 11 through 16, 5 out of 6 home games. And also the only road game is at Detroit, so it's not that far of a trip. But you're hosting the Cowboys 6-2. What a do. Dak is back. Cooper Rush, hey, remember that? Good times, man. But you got CD playing well. Tony Pollard is busting out and emerging. And we've said for years he's the best running back on the Cowboys. Zeke is at his moment in time. Maybe not so much anymore. That defense is still pretty dang solid, even though they gave up 29 points to the Bears. Whatever. But it's going to be a big-time game. Absolutely big-time heavyweight matchup. And then short week, Thanksgiving evening, Patriots coming in. Belichick now rolling with Mac Jones for the time being. They're starting to look good. Ramondre Stevenson is an absolute stud running back. Their defense is starting to get things together at times. Love me some Jack Jones as well. And, I mean, they're always going to be tough. I mean, Belichick, it's always tough to bet against them. So this is going to be a bit of a slog. It's nice that it is at home. And then you got that mini bye afterwards. And then you got the Jets coming in Week 13, historic U.S. Bank Stadium. The Jets, Zach Wilson making mistakes all over the place, but the defense is legit. Quinnen Williams, that pass rush, Sauce Gardner, absolute studs up and down that defense. Our guy Rob Salah has them playing really well. They don't have Breece Hall. He's out with that ACL, but they do have weapons on offense, man. So, I mean, adding another chapter to the dumbest rivalry in sports history, but the Jets aren't going to be a pushover. And then Week 14, you're at Detroit. Now, Detroit already firing Aubrey Pleasant, their D coordinator, and they're already starting to shuffle the chairs on that Titanic. I think that this team is going down, but as we saw last year, as the Vikings went in, as Detroit got their first win of the season, this team's not to be trifled with. This is going to be another tough game. There are no easy games in the National Football League. Like, look around. Like, how many times have you seen double-digit underdogs just show up and smack down? Like, you look at the Panthers and the Bucks a couple weeks ago. It happens, man. It absolutely happens. And then week 15, you got the Colts coming in, historic U.S. Bank Stadium. They're 3-4-1. They just fired their offensive coordinator, Marcus Brady. It seems like Frank Reich is sort of grasping at straws. They already benched Matt Ryan for the season, even though they're paying him. Sam Ehlinger is going to be in. Baby Tebow, the pride of Texas, hook him. So watch. This is the game that Jonathan Taylor Thomas actually does something. Because as a very frustrated fantasy guy with Jonathan Taylor Thomas, it's been rough. It's been a rough one. And then, Michael Pittman's a stud. Stephon Gilmore on the other side. Afadio Denebo, a revenge game. All that factors in, man. And then week 16, the Giants. Who thought that this would be the game? I mean, before the season, a lot of Viking season ticket holders probably gave away the Giants game as to like friends and family or people you don't really care about. Go to the Giants game, enjoy yourself. All of a sudden, it's a pretty hot ticket. Even though the Giants fell in Seattle, I do like the way that Brian Daboll has got this team playing. And you do have Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones starting to get things together. They have a hellacious pass rush that are solid along the offensive line in spots. So again, it's going to be tough, but I think the Vikings can walk through. I think that they can get things done. I think that they potentially could roll into the final 2 weeks of the season. 12-3? Somewhere in there. Worst case scenario, 11-4. Either way, you're looking pretty good. And I think the Packers are going to be slip and fall and they can't get up. The Bears have already signaled to their fan base, hey, we're giving up. We gave away Roquan Smith, and we gave away Robert Quinn for 2, 4, and a 5. And we're supposed to be super happy about that. Oh, and we're paying most of their salaries this season. So whatever. Congratulations on all the cap space. You're going to misuse it anyway. So the Vikings, I mean, if you get to this spot and you're 12-3, you're feeling good, man. I mean, the Packers could be tanking. The Bears also could be in that same boat. Could the Vikings legitimately end up 14-3 on the season? I think it's possible. Because, I mean, it obviously would be nice to go 16-1 and then Colin Cowherd, where Colin was right. But either way, the division, take care of that first. Stay in the race for the 1 seed. Maybe Philly slips up a couple times. Philly. All right, and maybe the Vikings can actually take this thing over. Because could you imagine the greatness that it would be if this team is able to overtake the Eagles, overcome the head-to-head, win the 1 seed, rest up, and have everything run through Minneapolis on the way to Glendale? We're looking ahead. 1-game season. Take care of the commies. Week 9, Kirk Cousins revenge game. Let's go. But your thoughts are thoughts. Take a look at the Vikings' remaining schedule. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.